Tim Tebow is a polarizing player to say the least. To many, he was the second coming of Steve Young, a guy who was the future of the NFL, but was never given the opportunity due to his faith. And to others, he was just a great college QB who sucked at the professional level. The people who say he sucked are absolutely right. But that's not the point of this video. Today, we're going to look into his miraculous playoff game against the Steelers as proof that God watches football. Ultimately, when we think of Tebow, our mind goes straight to John 3:16, which was a verse he had written on his face when he led Florida to a national championship win. Exactly 3 years after that, Tebow would play in the most important game of his NFL career. It was the 8-8 Warrior of Christ-led Broncos versus the 12-4 Steelers led by famous women's rights activist Ben Roethlisberger. At the start of the season, no one even thought the Broncos would be here after their 1-3 start, but after benching starting QB Kyle Orton, Tebow led them to an 8-8 season and a playoff appearance. While not the prettiest season by any means, it proved that this team was built on toughness. And while going into the game as massive underdogs, the Broncos were able to pull off the upset with an overtime touchdown thrown by Tebow. By the end of the game, Tebow had thrown for exactly 316 yards. While this alone is a crazy coincidence, it gets even crazier as Tebow averaged 31.6 yards per completion, 3.16 yards per carry. The Steelers had a time of possession of 31 minutes and 6 seconds. The ratings peaked at 31.6, and famous woman respecter Big Ben threw the only interception of the game on 3rd and 16. After this game, Tebow's career didn't amount to much of anything, but even though he never became a great NFL QB, he has gone on to represent Christ by starting the Tim Tebow Foundation, which seeks to end human trafficking and rescue victims of human trafficking. While to many, this game is merely a coincidence, to me, it is much more. It is proof that God does watch football. And, to all the Jets fans, yes, God did smite your team for Joe Namath selling his soul to the devil.